find a way to run from the city of the sun. You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through colored glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Alright, today is June 2nd, 2021, and it's 4:58 a.m., 5 o'clock pretty much. 1,096 subscribers. Welcome new subscribers. So yesterday a lot of things happened. I didn't record yesterday. I was too busy editing all the videos that I recorded. I believe it was on Monday. So I was too busy recording, editing all of those videos, so I didn't really record new one. So I'm kind of glad I didn't do that, because during the day after I gave up my computer, I had to give my husband my computer to work. So a couple things were happening on Twitter. So there was a huge protest on Twitter, at least the way that I see it. While I was camping over the weekend, I wasn't truly fully on Twitter, but I was on Twitter. So the thing about Naomi Osaka happened, I think, over the weekend, so I wasn't too fully informed about it. And yesterday throughout the day, there was a protest on Twitter, because what happened was that Naomi had decided not to give a press conference or something like that after her match. She was willing to pay the fine, but because she then I guess the French realized that she didn't take it the way that she should have, like to be upset that they fining her. I don't know. I'm just putting my own spin here. So she was willing to pay the fine, but not do the the press conference. So they were trying to punish her a little bit more because of that. So Twitterville went to work. I myself went into it because now that I understood what was going on, so I even put, very rarely I put individual tweet that has nothing to do with my videos or anything like that. But I thought that that was kind of mean of them to punish her on top of that $15,000 that they already fined her for not doing the press conference. So people start protesting, saying like they're gonna boycott the French opening. So later on, couple things happened, and I think they started taking it a little bit more seriously. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna show you. So let's go on Twitter and see what's going on.
So we shall do what women do. We shall talk.
All right. So here is Naomi Osaka's statement. I believe, when did she put that? May 31st. All right. So that was probably Sunday, I believe. Yesterday was the 1st. Yesterday was Tuesday. So that was Monday, Memorial Day. So this is what she put out. I didn't see that one. Is after, I started learning and I realized that she did put something out. All right. So let's see here. All right. This is Naomi Osaka's statement. Hey, everyone. This isn't a situation I ever imagined or intended when I posted a few days ago. I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. I never wanted to be a distraction, and I accept that my timing was not ideal, and my message could have been clearer. More importantly, I will never trivialize mental health or use the term lightly. The truth is that I have suffered long bouts of depressions since the US Open in 2018, and I have had a really hard time coping with that. Anyone that knows me knows I'm introverted, and anyone that has seen me at the tournament will notice that I'm often wearing headphones, as that helps dull my social anxiety. Though the tennis press has always been kind to me, and I want to apologize especially to all the cool journalists who I may have hurt. I am not a natural public speaker and get huge waves of anxiety before I speak to the world's media. I get really nervous and find it stressful to always try to engage and give you the best answer that I can. So there's more to it. So one of the things that crossed my mind when I first came across this, because I read that before, is that when you are a player or whatever it may be, soccer, tennis, football, or whatever. So that kind of thing, that the baggage of making you, where it's part of the contract that you must speak to the media, although it is good because it is through the media that we, me, myself, you, and everybody else will know what's going on behind the scenes somewhat, or what they are thinking. But I think, because I remember as a player, not at that level, because I was a college athlete myself, sometimes when you're really focusing on your craft, which is to play the game, I don't think it should be mandatory or push it on the players where they have to do that. Sometimes that take, chip off from their ability to perform well on the field. I don't know if I'm making sense. It should not be mandatory, like it's a must, or they have to pay a fine for not, talking to the media. So something should be done here. So at least the players could, those that can, maybe they should let them be, especially now with social media and stuff like that. They could talk through social media, all right? They all have different platform and things like that. So I don't know. So that something like that came to mind when I first read it. All right. So let me continue with her statement. Okay. So here in Paris, I was already feeling vulnerable and anxious. So I thought it was better to exercise self-care and skip the press conferences. All right. So this is where I was willing to, meaning that she was willing to pay the fine, but continue playing. But they put so much pressure on that. And I think the French really handle it a very wrong way. Where, they started, I don't know. Maybe if it was a white person, maybe they will see it differently, but I don't think they handled it properly. All right, let me continue. I announce it preemptively because I do feel like the rules are quite outdated in parts, and I wanted to highlight that. I wrote privately to the tournament apologizing and saying that I will be more than happy to speak with them after the tournament as the slam are intense. You see, this is the thing here. When you are playing, you're so focused on, doing your best. And then, after every small little match where, maybe even while on the field, you started thinking, because you're not that good to see all those cameras in front of your face. You started being intense and all of that. That might even chip away from your performance, So she wrote to them privately. I didn't. I wrote privately to the tournament, apologizing and saying that I will be more than happy to speak with them after the tournament as the slam are intense. I'm going to take some time away from the court now, but when the time is right, I really want to work with the tour to discuss ways we can make things better for the players, press, and fans. Anyways, hope you are all doing well and staying safe. Love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. All right? So, this is the thing where money is not always everything. If you realize that you're starting to just that part only start taking over you and it affect on your performance, this is is like F this. I need to see a different way that I could approach it, or go see someone who could speak with me about it. I mean, different people handle this differently. Some are pretty good at it. Some probably can't wait to speak to the media and all of that. So, those that are a little bit, have that kind of anxiety and things like that, I think it's best for ways that those tournament people who handle this somewhat differently. I forgot that she had spoke with them, send a letter privately letting them know. So this is why I was saying that they handle it the wrong way. Instead, they were trying to make an example out of her. When in fact, I think she brought a really good point where, not every players are the same, where they have to force them to speak to the media and stuff like that. Yes, I know we all need the media to hear and see what's going on, but at the same time, if it affects players' performance, I don't think they should do that. All right. So that's that. Let me see what some people said on her thing. But I didn't really bookmark these to really show you, but it's other tweets that I bookmark. All right, that's here. I appreciate you and your candor. Stand tall, stay strong. It takes a great bravery to speak about your mental health. All right. The sentence is a little long. Okay, better to write a short and concise sentence so that others can read them. What? Why you criticize her about her writing? Oh my God. All right, so here I'm gonna avoid that one. Okay, let's boycott the French Open. Naomi is the most exciting player anyway. Imagine punishing someone for having anxiety in 2021. All right, so most of the thing that I started writing tweets about, and I start saying, boycott the French Open, because this is where your money come into play. Your timing, sitting behind the TV, those commercials you be watching, this is where they want to get you in that. So if you're not watching, forget that. All right, okay, stay strong. I admire your vulnerability. Okay, we got your back. Okay. You're not scared. I know you mean well, but that saying has no weight, no validity. It does have some weight, because look at, after that they changed their tune. All right, I think I bookmarked some stuff here. So one vote, it matters. All right, one person who's not watching the thing, it matters, because what they want is it affect on how they get money, contract with companies and all of that during the with the network and stuff like that. But anyway, so I don't want to focus too much on that, so because there were some good people who got her back. Okay, let's see here. Let me read this one. Just the other day, everyone was happily sharing Kobe's old video on mental health. Today is shut up and do it. You see, this is what some of the people were saying. I know she's not saying that to her, but she was just, let me just continue. This rule should be changed in general when it comes to sport. She's not the first to say this. All right? This kind of thing. All right, there's one more here. Solidarity with Naomi. It's clear you've been constructively hounded out if the French Open with no regard for your mental health and others. Conduct of Grand Slam tournament is utterly disgraceful. Why should athletes be forced to speak to the media? Ridiculous. All right, so this is the thing here. All right, let's go here. There was something I saw. I think it was one of the Williams sisters. Okay, there's this one. All right. So that was 2 hours ago. And this someone here. Venus Williams on how she deal with media. Quote, I know every single person asking me a question can play as well as I can and never will. So no matter what you say or what you write, you'll never hold a candle to me. That's how I deal with it, Naomi Osaka. All right, so everybody's different. Not everyone can do that. Probably I won't be able to do that myself. All right, so if I get, how do you call this? If I get flagged for this, I'll mute it. At least you could see the writing. Okay, just read underneath.
For me personally, how I deal with it was that I know every single person asking me a question can't play as well as I can and never will. So no matter what you say or what you write, you'll never light a candle to me. So that's how I deal with it. But each person deals with it differently. For me personally,
All right. So it's almost like, when they tell you when you're doing public speaking, just think of the whole audience is naked or something like that. So that's something Naomi needs probably speak with someone on how to deal with it. Maybe she didn't think she would. I don't want to put her skill down. I'm not saying she's not that good. She is good. She has won a tournament before. It is a matter of time to see her even get better, where the winnings start stacking up. But maybe she wasn't prepared how fast her skills will be at that level, and then to be at front stage like that, where she will have to keep on doing all of these public speaking and stuff. Let me read 6 of those comments here. Okay, nice. How does the saying go? Quote, speak softly and deliver an epic burn. All right, and quote, has anyone noticed that Piers Morgan's attack are predominantly toward famous young minority and black women that are high achievers? Rihanna, Jamil, Megan, Osaka. He's not only vicious about that perceived entitlement, he keeps referring to the millions they earn. There's a tweet that I come across of Piers Morgan, and I realized that this guy, I have to find a different name for him on my channel and not to show his face. Every time his face popped up on something, I have to black his face because I think he's looking for more recognition and all of that. Yeah, he started putting pictures of him and himself and what's the other Serena and all of that. I mean, I started skipping the stuff, not reading his thing. But this guy is sick. It's really sick. They should put a stop to him for doing all this kind of thing. This is what this thing is about. Let me see what someone would. Anyway, that guy must be sick in the brain. Yeah, you see, he's just jealous as fuck. LOL. Light them up, Venus. What a wonderful role model for positivity. Oh, burn. All right. So I think now there's another video that I saw of. Let me see if I could see it before I start going. Let me see that one. Following Naomi Osaka withdrawal from the French Open, the French tennis president ironically refused to take any question from the press. Because people were burning him. I didn't know that. And now all of a sudden he can't take question, but he's forcing someone else to do it, and he was gonna use Naomi as an example. While I'm editing this video, one of the things that came to mind as I'm editing it is that to keep in mind Naomi Osaka is half Haitian. And remember the Haitian history with the French. So what they were planning to do, the French, and you could see how all of them started to line themselves up, all the Wimbledon, the U.S. and all of that. When this first came to find out, they were starting to align themselves together to start punishing her. But what came to mind is that, especially with the history of the French with Haiti, okay, with Haitian. Okay, so they were gonna use Naomi Osaka as an example. Okay, but it backfired. People pushed back and said, "No, you can't do that to her," and this kind of thing. And
this falls squarely on the shoulders of the Tennis Association. You know what some of these female athletes have gone through. They have told you, they've explained it to you. And one of the problems that we have in the world, I think, is people don't listen. People don't listen when somebody says, this is what's happening and this is what it's doing to me. And so I can't go on and do what I need to do. You can't just blanket say, you got to do it. Women are treated differently than men. And this has more to do with, hey, a little respect should be paid to all of your athletes. They should not be having to answer questions about their, their flaws in terms of not feeling as good on a clay court. Just come on. But this is what it is, and that's her response. I gotta say, I'm right behind you, baby. I'm backing you up. This false.
Another thing that is popping up is that they felt like the French should return the 15K back to Naomi, this kind of thing. So yeah, while I'm editing, the thing that came to mind is the history of Haiti with the French, because Naomi is half Haitian and half Japanese. Just wanted to point this out. I didn't know that. This is funny. This is funny. This is really funny. Let me bookmark this. Wow. Let's see. Let me read some of that. A lot of the same people giving the girl shit for not wanting to talk to the media probably love Marshall Lynch antics. Okay, I wonder why that is. All right, just my opinion. But after the French gave us three of the greatest thing ever created, French toast, French fries, licking the inside of another's mouth, they can do no wrong in my eyes. Okay, for your information, French fries are from France, but from Belgium, and French toast was invented during the women. I think this guy was just how do you call this, was just fooling around because it has the word French in it. I think that's why. All right, nobody was really looking into the origin of them. All right, what do her sponsor think? Just wondering, since she's outside, Serena carries Nike for women's tennis. Okay, Nike is supporting her. Okay, it is in his contract to talk to the press like it is the athlete. Yes, it was in his contract. Let's see if he's fine too. So that's something. That is very interesting. No reply. LOL. Not ironic at all. Legal battle. Okay, is he required to speak to the media like she is? Let's see here. Okay, he is a public face of the organization, so yes. Okay, and his contract, does it say he has to speak with the media? I get he has to do some media, but he is required to do the same amount of media the athletes are. If he wasn't supposed to speak to the media today, why would he? See, this is the thing here. Look how easy they really bypass his thing for not speaking to the media. But the thing that the original post of this is because they find Naomi 15K for not speaking, but him who's just walking by don't want to speak to the media because of the backlash that come after it, and all of a sudden he doesn't want to speak. All right, when the ball is not in their corner, when people are not really cheering them, they don't want to do those kind of things. All right, he spoke to the media. He called the press conference, said his piece, and left without answering question. Could have just done a press release. Okay, so that's what he did. All right, two things. Supremacists hate for black people, especially women, to have autonomy of wealth. That's why you're seeing a lot of them invoke Naomi Osaka. Contractual obligation. Okay, that's a quote. As a pretext to them, black folks are not supposed to not be subjugated, and some folks. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Michael Tercy. Overall, she actually earned 55 plus million in 12 months, the most any woman in professional sport. But according to pundit and social media scrolls, you, the average citizen, have an affirmative obligation to provide her with empathy and help. All right. Essence, Naomi Osaka earned 55 million in the past year, more than any other woman in sport. So what her money has to do with that? This is the thing where, money cannot buy you everything. All she needed right now is to be in a space where her mind and body are in sync. Right now, her mind and body was not in sync. Her mind was taking over her body. So where she was overthinking things, and then her body was saying, don't do those kind of things. Don't do it. Okay? She doesn't want to stand in front of the public, in front of the media to speak. This kind of thing. So, this is the thing. This is why the Me You Can't See came out perfectly. People should sit down and watch it. And I've been saying that for a couple of days now, a couple of videos, that I need to sit and watch it again because I didn't finish watch it. All right, let's see here. What else were they saying? Okay, I'm going to leave that poor millionaire girl alone. Okay, so people were responding to that. I don't want to work tomorrow, but I'm not Naomi Osaka, so I'm going to suck it up. I mean, this is completely different. You're probably sitting behind your desk and you have to work. This is the other white woman who usually, come after, Let me just leave my opinion here. Not irony, hypocritical. All right, French tennis says, why didn't she talk to us beforehand? But she sent a letter privately before them, and she was willing to take, to take the fine. All right, as if depression is easy to talk about, as if would have listened and accommodate her wishes. She did the only thing she could do, needed to do, expose the hypocrisy. All right, that's a good thing here. All right, are you effing kidding me? Just gross. Okay, out of respect for these two, I won't be commenting on this at this time. All right, so the next thing that I was looking for was to see if, let's see here. Okay, my bit on people who simply can't handle Naomi Osaka not doing a press conference, and tennis idiotic hypocrisies and health. All right, so I didn't read that. All right, let's see here. Naomi Osaka received support of the court from her corporate sponsors after she withdrew from the French Open, citing her mental health. And I think there's private, before that, there have been more stuff that was out to show you sign of this kind of thing. She was very calm in all of this. Let's see here.
Naomi Osaka received support Tuesday off the court from another key constituency, her corporate sponsors, after she withdrew from the French Open, citing her mental health. Osaka, the 4 times Grand Slam champion who's ranked second in the world, pulled out after she was fined and threatened with expulsion for declining to face the media after her first-round match on Sunday.
See, that's the thing here. They were going to try to use her as an example. All right, explosion, putting more stuff. And I started hearing other, I think the U.S. Open and other things they were doing their talk. All right. And then that's when the public starts saying boycott the French and all of that. And then you start seeing they start taking step back and not doing what they were planning on doing, using her as an example. But instead, she's become the face of that and said, people, let's see what the result they come out of that. All right. Let me move it back slightly. All right.
Media after her first-round match on Sunday, saying she had been suffering from depression and anxiety. Sports apparel maker Nike praised her for her courage in sharing her mental health experience. So did MasterCard, saying it's important to prioritize personal health and well-being. In Japan, automaker Nissan expressed solidarity with its brand ambassador, and cup noodle maker Nissin Foods wished her a speedy recovery. Osaka earned more than $55 million over the past 12 months, according to sports business site Sportico. Much of that comes from sponsorship deals with major Japanese and American companies in Japan. After her exit, she has received support from her country and leading sports figures ranging from Serena and Venus Williams to NBA star Steph Curry.
You see, this is the support that she got. All right, let's take aside Serena Williams, the Williams sisters, and Curry, and all of that. But what really matters, okay, all of them matter. Don't get me wrong, all of them matter. But the public, because this is where they try to sell us. All right, they try to sell us what they and things like that. So the public start doing the pushback as well. And this is where they start eating their own word and said, oh, let's push back. Let's not use her as an example or make an example out of her for not speaking and all of that. So I'm glad Serena Williams, both sisters, and Venus and Steph Curry, they spoke out in support of her to bring more light, because they have this a bigger mic than most of us, more than me, okay, to shed more light on that. And especially with what happened with Me You Can See was a very good thing that came out last week, and to sort of shed light to all of this. Let's see, 9 comment in here. Okay, if you can take question as a player who make millions, then take part. It's unfair on the organizer and the media. It's how the money is generated. Yes, but without the player, guess what? Without the player, there won't be a tournament. That's the thing here. All right. If she wasn't that good to be at that front stage, do you think it would matter if she didn't show up? All right. So she's that good, but she's not that good in terms of, she's that good as a player to be at that level, but she's just not that good to be talking to people and all of that. The thing is that for me, what I got from it is the pressure that they put at her during the tournament, where her mind should be focusing on playing. That's the thing for me. This is where my problem is with that kind of talking to the media kind of thing. Because let's say you win the first match, all right? Now your mind is to the next player. You probably want to see how the player plays or something like that, or try to improve on your skills a little bit more, or there's a mistake you did at the first match, you want to improve on it and make sure you don't do that again. This is where your mind's supposed to be, not being so scared and talking to people. Everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same. There's probably players maybe speaking to the media, motivate them to do better on the court. All right, say, oh, I can't wait to speak to these people, so I better win that game, that match, and all of this. Can you imagine after you lose a match, okay, you're so pissed at yourself. Not only you're upset at yourself, now you have to go talk to the media to explain to them how you did your performance after you lost. Okay, while you were in the court, you were giving your best. All right, and then next, now you have to talk to the media to talk to them how bad your performance was. But when you were on the court, you were trying your best. All right. Remember, these are top players. They're not playing some slackers like me where they could beat 1, 2, 3. All right. These are top players. Okay. All of them deserve to be there. But many of them, their focus is on the game. It should not be focusing on speaking to the media. All right. So there have to be a balance. I understand. Yes. We as the audience need to hear their side of things, but it should not be that much of a pressure to put on those people. All right, Naomi Osaka is the future of mental health awareness and sports. I'm here for it. Okay, this is a good thing, a very good thing. Okay, Nike abuse sweatshop workers, supports Osaka. That's something they have to deal with. Okay, yes, the ad hominem fallacy. All right, so I was searching. Let's see here. I want to search for Serena Williams because all right, let's put it here. Serena. Okay. because there was, let me go on her thing. There was something that she did, a press conference that she did, and I thought that was really good. Let's see if I think this is it. Yeah. All right. One of a million reasons why Serena Williams is the GOAT. Let's
Double
see.
faults. Boy, a couple more double faults.
Oh, I think that's a very negative thing to say.
Yeah, that was
Are
the
you
one.
serious? Okay. Well, you should have been out there. That wasn't very kind. You should apologize. Do you want to apologize?
I just did. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a great performance. I played well. She's a former top 10 player. The last time we played was in the finals of a Grand Slam. You know, it's not an easy match. And she.
Congrats on the win.
Yeah.
But looked a little bit of a scrappy performance. A few more unforced errors there for you. A couple more double faults.
Oh, I think that's a very negative thing to say. Are you serious? Okay. Well,
All right.
you should.
So it's playing again. I wanted to hear the question at first again. I mean, you're not the player. You don't know how it is out there. Maybe she was giving her best. Again, like I said, she's not playing with just anybody, even though she probably beat them. But they are good players as well. Okay, you think they're supposed to give her an easy victory? If it was like that, nobody would be interested in watching the game where people just give up the game and because it's Serena and here's the game, you could win it. All right. So the other players have to give Serena a fight, okay, to win the matches too. To tell her this was a scrappy performance. What the hell is that? All right. Everybody in that tournament are good players. All right. So which means the other player was giving Serena a hard time to win her match. All right. Even though the other player lost, you could see they give her Serena a run for her money. Okay, let's see here. Anyway, mental health matters every day, all day, following my IG. Okay, is this clip from the current French Opens? Nope. Looking at the background is the Australian Open. Not sure. Yeah, it was. All right, and this is the other one that I show you. All right, so this is the thing I wanted to show you guys before I start. It took 30 minutes to get to it. All right, so now let me go on some of the things that I bookmarked yesterday. All right, so here. All right, further evidence that this stalker never met Megan. Okay, the thread. All right. I'm going to make sure I black this. Okay. Yes, Jules, I have a real problem with female black tennis stars. This guy is, how will I call him? It's Meghan Markle's stalker. All right, I'm not gonna show his face. Okay, there is something consistently anti-black when non-black people are over familiar fetish, demand, claim proximity, love bomb, and a trauma dump. One horrible pattern I noticed last year was white people abusing their relationship with black people, whether that was emotional labor, tokenism, and failing to respect boundaries. Okay, using their proximity and failing to do the work in their sphere of influence. Okay, your proximity to black people does not exempt you from racism. Using your proximity to black people is in itself racist. All right, so what was the... Okay, a thread about pattern of whiteness demanding proximity to black people using their profile, cloud culture, ideas, etc. is attractive. All right. Someone must do something regarding this guy. Meghan Markle, stalker. Something has to be done. Because when the pushback came, people start saying boycott the French Open, and there was a outcry. He posts something for mental health, and I don't know if I bookmark it, but people were saying BS and start saying, where were you when the abuse that you put on Meghan and all of that. I mean, little at a time. I mean, even though these people, the negativity, have the bigger mic, all right, to spread their hate and stuff like that, little at a time, it's opening more eyes. All right, even through the comment section, you start seeing some women, saying, "Oh, I don't like to work, but I'm still gonna go to work anyway." It's little at a time. You're gonna open some eyes on things like that. That's happening. All right, let's see. I have to remember, I have to wake up my son at 7. He has his test today. All right, I think this is proof he never went for a drink with Megan, because if they did, he would have had his picture taken with her. All right, that's one thing here. I've said this so many times. He has no proof. Okay, Serena must have thought he was a fan. If she knew it was Piers Morgan, she would have run a mile. So he took a pic with Serena. Was that supposed to clear him of his blatant racism? It's a lack of imagination for me. All right, that is such a joke. Okay, that's what he craved with Megan. Okay, that's a picture from 2012. Okay, he didn't seem so quick to post about his proximity to these people. Let's see here. Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm pretty sure, because this is where he could only probably get, you know what? This guy, let me just, he's pretty much a freaking piece of shit for someone with a mic like this. This is the next tweet here. Okay, spot on. Someone, co-war Steve. Okay, I hope nobody asks us to compassionate when karma comes to collect her dues from him. I'm just gonna sit back and just watch, because at some point karma better go to him. All right, please Jesus, please. All right, I hope she ruthless and merciless when she comes. All right, that's talking about karma with Piers Morgan. Next tweet, let's see here. If you're a woman and you wonder why when you say you're ally to black folks, you get the side eye, look how women in tennis and out of tennis didn't show any compassion for Naomi Osaka, especially when everyone knows how tennis treat Venus and Serena. Once I saw this, even before that, I started putting tweets out and saying, boycott the French Open, because this is the best way I know how. All right, even though you might come across my tweet, maybe you're not, you don't see it the same way as I do. All right, but at least let them know that I'm not gonna watch you. All right, because this is the only way I could support her. All right, white women don't wonder why they get the side eye. Why will they support Naomi when they don't want her and the league to begin with? Okay, the black ladies are their biggest competition. They're glad to see them gone. Yep. All right. And I listened to the Sunday podcast of Sussex Squad podcast. All right. So there was some Michelle was saying a lot of things, because she followed the tennis thing and stuff like that. There was a lot of points she brought about when it comes to the French and stuff like that, the French Open. She remembers some stuff back in the days and with the French Open. Okay, facts. MSNBC covered Naomi Osaka and said all the support she was getting from others and sports, etc. What the F. All right, some of white sisters need a How to Ally for Dummies book. Okay, in other words, when you see people going through some stuff, it's just stick with them. Believe me, if it was a white woman who bring this up, you will see all the oh my God, we need to support her, and this kind of thing. If it wasn't for the public, you see Serena and Steph Curry and Venus Williams and stuff like that. Stick with her. Guess what? Maybe other people, maybe, I don't know. It's just great to see that they were supporting her. All right. And then the thing is that the respect that Naomi have for Serena and all of that, it shows her upbringing and all of that. Which, there should be always a mutual respect between players. Anyway. All right. Nothing but truth to be had there. Sis, you're preaching. Word. Okay. Next tweet. All right. I'm a journalist, and I'm in no way offended that Naomi Osaka wants to prioritize her mental well-being. She's not a circus animal. Change is necessary, and if it makes some uncomfortable, so be it. Okay, you're human first, Stephanie. That's the difference. Okay, well said. This constant bullying of anyone who makes a stand for their mental health is shocking. Okay, thank you for saying this. It's ridiculous that these journalists think the athletes old. Okay, I totally agree. But guess what? With social media now, guess what? If you are very creative, because a journalist must know how to write very well, which is not my craft pretty much. All right. So through social media, let's say Naomi were to put a statement out. Maybe it's easier for her through her phone where people asking her question. Okay, maybe there will be a section or something where journalists are asking her question, and then she responds through social media or something like that. Or maybe write the question that they want her to answer and give it to her, and she'll answer it on her social media and stuff like that. And then those journalists could make their report on that, those kind of thing. All right, where everybody could still see it, and then you could still do your craft and talk about it. But the only thing I will expect is at the end of the tournament, not during the tournament, at the end of the tournament, whoever the winner is, obviously must speak to the media, okay, to talk about your how it went throughout the tournament and how you felt and all of those kind of thing. All right, amen. You obviously forgot to read her sister Reddit post. Okay, yes, change needs to happen, but she's not a circus animal ever. Okay, the irony of this happening when May is Mental Health Awareness Month. All right. All right, let's see here. Who cares when it happened? If Naomi is feeling like her mental health is about to be compromised, then she owes it to herself to put self first. It's people like you that has forced those of us that suffer from mental health issue now be vocal. Naomi, we are all part of you. I mean, what she said here, I don't think she meant it in the wrong way. All right, we have to, before we start criticize people on media, because different writing when you read it, you might take it differently. I didn't see this as she's pushing back. I think she was just saying, oh, look what happened. Her situation happened during the mental health awareness month. Okay, and then it was the last day of mental health month thing that she happened to pull out anyway, to put her statement or whatever. I wasn't really fully following all of that, but for her to start bashing her on top of that, okay, I think both of you were thinking the same thing, but you took hers in the wrong way. I don't think what she was saying here. The irony of this happening when May is Mental Health Awareness Month. All right. Again, it just happened to strike Naomi at that time where she couldn't handle it. All right. So I don't think this person responded to her in the wrong way. And I think both of them, okay, I think they were just saying it in the same way. All right. They're thinking the same way. All right. We are all proud of you. I think she's proud of her too, even though she didn't say it, but I don't think she meant anything negative here. Okay, it is long overdue. The abuse of black athletes has become an Olympic sport. So much so that some journals get angry when their right to abuse is taken away. Black women are an easy target because no one defends us. It's becoming ridiculous. All right, this is why, like I said, I wasn't even paying attention to the open at all. But when I start hearing this kind of thing, it made me pay attention to it. All right, because it's through those kind of barriers that are there. If someone don't burst to that door and say this is not fair or something like that, and and let it be, and this is where the abuse come. All right, when I saw she had an issue, okay, her mental well-being was being compromised, and then instead of taking it for what it is and support of her, instead the opening, the people with the French Open and start, we're going at her a little bit more. And I was like, nah, that can't be. All right. And this is where your voice, your time watching the thing matters. All right. You don't have to be out there outside, picketing, boycott, If it's to tweet, this is the best way that I knew how yesterday. All right, it's to boycott the French Open. Whichever, maybe 2 or 3 people probably retweet some of the thing that it's one more than other people. Maybe the people who retweet my tweet have more following than me, and their followers could see it. All right, so to shed light to those kind of thing. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Did I read this? Okay, to think that it's May, a month for mental health awareness, yet the girl is being bullied for choosing hers above others. That's almost the same thing as the last tweet that I read, and the other person bash her for it. Okay, that's almost the same thing. Someone make it make sense to me. Okay, black women do not get afforded humanity. We're just mule to these clowns. This is why stereotypes are so harmful. Society has been conditioned to believe that we're just tougher. If we don't speak up, let it be known, so so people will know, and then we get the support. What happened is that why those French Open start taking step back is that it's because of money. Okay, when they see the class, the Steph Curry, Serena Williams saying they support her and all of that, and then the public, which is the most collective voice, start talking, okay, and say you better take her mental health serious, and this is where they start taking the push step back and say, okay, if they're not gonna watch, how are we gonna make money off of that? This kind of thing. All right, this is how it works. This is why I was saying at the beginning of the video is that there was a protest that was going on Twitter. All right, let's see here. Chris Evans. This I think is gonna be another tweet within itself, and it should be for a Friday video. I'll come back to that. All right. Let me see here. And that's Evan. That's gonna be another video. I'm gonna try to make it for Friday. Oh my God, today's Wednesday, and then we're gonna go out camping again. If it rains, we're not gonna go. That's the only thing here, because I don't want to deal with that weather again. Next tweet. I'm glad black and brown women in public are refusing to play ball with a media model that is built on exploiting and slandering them. Kudos to Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and Naomi Osaka for saying, quote, my well-being is more important to me than you getting a byline. All right, these are the things that I was saying, and I said, you know what? I better start sharing these things with you guys. Them choosing to engage with the public on their own term is always going to enrage the media machine, which seeks to exercise control through fear of steering public backlash. But how long are we expecting these people to chip away parts of themselves in full view of the public? All right. Quote, young athletes are expected to answer the most intimate question in a cynical and often predatory environment. All right, there's a video. I think it was from Sussex Squad podcast where they were showing teenage Serena was being interviewed by one of the journalists, and then the father stepped in. I don't have that clip, but if you watch the Sussex Squad podcast, you'll see it. That's what came to mind. All right, where they were asking Serena, teenage Serena, question, and then the dad stepped in and said, "Don't ask, whatever." I don't remember the exact word that the father said, and stood up for her daughter and stuff like that. All right, and as I'm saying that, I'm thinking of Megan's dad for some reason, where he should have stood up for her. All right, this is the difference here. All right, when it comes to black people, this is why many of us, even though we are going through so many hurdles in our lives, we don't make money become our priority. Yes, we need money to pay rent, for food, for shelter, and all of that, but we don't make it the ultimate thing for us. And this is why every little chance we get, you see us enjoying ourselves. Okay, if we make money the priority, we'll be worrying 24/7. We will never get a break. So when it comes to those kind of things, you see a lot of black and brown people stood up and said, you're not flaunting your money in front of me is not gonna take away my well-being. Because when you're in a space, guess what? Even though if you are homeless or whatever it may be, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but if your mental well-being is is intact with you, mind and body are together, all right, you'll go through the hardship, the hurdles pretty well. All right, you'll find your way through it to where you could get shelter and kind of things like that. But this is the thing that a lot of white people need to take consideration. Money is not everything. All right, you see people are abusing other people for money, abusing their workers because they want them to be productive and all of that, and eventually once they finish pile all of the money, they're gonna leave it behind. All right, they leave all those wealth for their kids, and their kids will probably never know level live never lift a finger, and then they leave all this pile of wealth, and then they give it to the kids, and then the kids just waste it away because this is something that was handed to them. All right, many of them, that's what happened. And I've come across a lot of people like that, where their parents leave a lot of wealth for them, and then when they get it, they just waste it. All right, believe me, I know a perfect example of that. Okay, let's see here. What does her not wanting to follow tournament rules have to do with black or brown people? Is anyone else allowed to skip their required media appearances? Guess what? If she skip it, she was willing to pay that 15K. Is it a tournament rule though? Folks keep saying that, yet have nothing to prove it. For meaningless a chat that plays on ESPN at 4 in the morning. Let's see here. Let's see here. Others but not punish the hypocrisy. Let's see here. All right, let's see briefly about Naomi Osaka, from a 45-year vet of sport media. Steve Colton didn't talk to the MLB media and was never threatened with suspension or fine. All right, Keith Olbermann. All right, that's yeah, I've heard his name. I don't follow him, but his name is very familiar when it comes to sport and just journalism and stuff like that. All right, Steve Colton. I guess this is the French guy who skipped the thing. All right, didn't talk to the at MLB media and was never threatened with suspension or fine. Marshawn Lynch doesn't talk. George Hendrick then. Bill Belichick literally gives lip service, but a woman destroy her. You see, this is the thing here. All right, so that's a very good proof here. Those examples are not from the French Open. Okay, it is a tournament rule though, for because she had to pay 15K still. All right, 15K is a lot of money, but you just think about it. 15K out of her 55 million is still a lot. Okay. Folks keep saying that, yet have okay. That's the one I just read. For me, okay. Rarely shown on TV unless something controversial, and then it's snippet. Okay, it's snippets. If you want to watch a live tennis pro conference or previously taped, you have to work hard to find a feed. All right, let's see here. That's completely untrue. The tennis channel on ESPN always show these conferences. Just because tennis doesn't get the coverage of something like the NFL doesn't mean it's lost in those that love tennis. All right, I mean, like I say, I wasn't really into all of that. Usually, if Serena or the final or something like that, the last man standing, so to speak, is playing, that's when I will watch. But tennis is not really my partake kind of thing. All right, just check Sports Center and not the conference and site. Sorry, burst your bubble. Okay, funny because I was just watching Nadal on ESPN. Although one, tennis will never get the attention of NBA and NFL, and two, women tennis will never get the attention of men tennis, and three, the FO conferences take place 9 hours earlier than me, so I have to watch highlights. All right, so this is someone who's probably into it, and I think, you know, if like me right now, I don't have cable, so most likely I will not see any of this. All right, so but whatever. All right, the rule said that if they don't do the press conference, they're penalized. She paid it. You see, this is the thing here. She was willing to pay that penalty. All right, and then they went after her on top of that. All right, she was paid. She paid it and was willing to keep paying. All right, that's the thing here. She was willing to keep paying the penalty for not doing the conference. All right, she had the money. That's the thing people don't see. There's a rule there's the playbook that was set, the rules and regulation. All right, if you don't do the conference, you're gonna pay 15K. Guess what? She made enough money to skip that because of mental well-being. You know, let's say how many tournaments she plays, depend on if she reached the final or whatever. She's willing to pay that amount just to keep her mindset intact. All right. And then because they realized she's willing to pay that K, they wanted to add more penalty to it. That's the thing here. All right. There's the rule book in front of you. Okay. If you know the rule book, okay. Let's say, for instance, I'm Naomi Osaka, for instance. Okay. I have enough money to pay for that. All right. Maybe before, when she first started, she didn't earn that much money. She put up with it. She put up with it so she didn't have to pay that fine. But now that she has enough money, she was willing to put up with it and said, you know what, I'm going to skip those conferences because that thing scared the bejesus out of me. I'm willing to pay the $15K. That's when they decided to come after her even more. And then she's like, you know what, I'm pulling out. This you have to give her kudos for that. This is huge thing here. But let me read this. Okay, the rules say, okay, that if they don't do a press conference, they're penalized. She paid it and was willing to keep paying. Who broke the contract? Okay, it wasn't her. They're trying to impose new rules to pressure and threaten her. That's where, this is exactly what happened. That's when I start getting involved. That's when I got involved. Okay, this need to, okay, this is very important. This is very important. That's where the problem was. She was willing to pay it. All right. She said, oh, there's the rule book. All right. I don't want to do the conference, but you put that, I have to pay $15K. I'm willing to pay it because I have that money. All right. Then they come after her because she said, I'm not doing it. And then she said, F this. You coming after me? I'm pulling out. All right. This is the thing here. People need to give her credit for that. Her mental wealth is more important than this thing. This is a very, very key thing here. All right. That was in May 31st. All right. And I started getting the memo yesterday. That's how much I wasn't paying tennis. All right. I knew she wasn't doing that. And I knew she was willing to pay the $15K. So I left it alone. But it's when the threat that came after her, that's when I get involved. And I was like, nah, that can't be it. You can't do that to her. Okay, it's not fair. That's when I start doing the hashtag boycott the French Open. All right, that's where I got involved. You see, sometimes you need to pay attention to things, and for you to stick to show your voice, your support to people. At here, I wasn't paying attention where she was willing to pay the fine. Okay, I was like, okay, she got the money. She's willing to pay it. It's not my problem. I don't have $15K. There's some players who will come in, sit down, don't say anything, and walk away. I will do the same thing probably. But she's like, I'm not facing you, but I'm willing to pay the $15K. I was like, okay, you got the money. Do your thing, girl. But then, this is the second part here. This is where I came here. All right, and she was willing to keep paying. Okay, this is where I came. I started saying, something is not right here. All right, she paid it and was willing to keep. The rule said if you don't do the press conference, they'll penalize her. She paid it and was willing to keep paying. Who broke the contract? It wasn't her. They're trying to imposing. There it is. I was looking for that one. They were trying to impose new rules. Okay, the rule book was changing on her. This is where my problem was. They were trying to impose new rules. That wasn't part of the game. That wasn't part of the rule. Okay? If she wanted to sue, she could have come and sued them and said, that wasn't part of the rule book. All right? The rule book was, I pay $15K. Why all of a sudden, believe me, this is almost the thing that happened with my lawsuit with the gym owner. They were trying to change the rule book on me. That's why I said, F no, you're not gonna get the 35 cents. Okay, so it's trying to change the rule book while you were playing. That's where the foul came to me. Okay, imposing new rules and threaten her. That's the thing here. This is where I got so angry and I started getting involved and more people get involved. And then you see, this is what happened here. All right, next tweet.